Hey everybody, it's Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast. Since the Lakers have fired Darvin Ham, there's been a lot of questions if the firing was justified. So on First Take today, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe were in defense of Darvin Ham. They believe the Lakers should not have fired Darvin Ham. They believe that it was not all on him. It should have been some of the blame should have went to Rob Pelinka. Should Rob Pelinka's job, the GM of the Lakers, for making that Russell Westbrook trading away or letting KCP go and Kuzma go and Russo at Caruso letting him go. It can't all just be on Darvin Ham, right? And they bring up the point of, does this hurt LeBron James' legacy as a GOAT with all the coaches that he has gone through? Okay. And for someone like Shannon Sharpe, who has been the LeBron James #1 cheerleader, head of the fan club, he has a pretty strong take on this and gives a pretty funny analogy. I'm gonna play the clip and I'm gonna get back to the conversation.
Push back on you when you say he wanted those coaches fired, but he didn't see that in the beginning. It's kind of like a relationship. And you and I have both been in relationships, and we've been out of relationships. And a lot of times in the beginning, what we see, we don't see. We see something different once we get in. I'm not naive enough. I'm not foolish enough to sit here and say none of the relationships were my fault, were not my problem. It was. I bear a lot of culpability, but I'm man enough to own that. And I think the thing is, a lot of times what we see with athletes, they're not men enough to own their culpability in this. LeBron James bears some culpability in this, and rightfully so. Whether he says it publicly or not, he knows he can't be without fault in none of these 9. So all 9. So I've been in a relationship, let's just say 5 times. All 5 breakups are my point are somebody else's fault. You've been married 6 times, and every time you got a divorce, it's on someone else?
Ooh, that's a tough one from Shannon, right? To compare LeBron James's previous coaches to failed relationships. He has a point though, right? I mean, if you look at it, LeBron James has had multiple different coaches, and look, let's be real. It is not tough coaching a LeBron-led team. A lot of those coaches get burned out. Remember Ty Lue? During that championship season, I believe it was the second year, maybe third year, whatever. And he was having, heart palpitations or something. And he had to take a break. He was getting stressed out, right? So LeBron James, this is the list of the coaches. And yeah, it's a lot. And to be fair, Stephen A. mentioned, look, LeBron James is not the only player to have 9 coaches or more. But he said the difference was that those players, most of those players were a little more vocal about it. And, Shannon's whole point is, look, man, this can't all, there's a common denominator, right? I mean, you are the main reason why these coaches get fired, and LeBron James is not vocal or in defense of some of these coaches. LeBron James says cookie cutter response. A lot of times LeBron James's attitude is he's just another guy on the team. And he don't make coaching decisions. He doesn't make personnel decisions. But a lot of the decisions that these teams make is heavily influenced by LeBron James' input, whether it's players on the team or coaches. So when it comes to the GOAT debate, some people look at it like, hey, LeBron James was able to win 4 championships with multiple different coaches. Other people may look at that as a knock to LeBron James, that all these coaches you got fired or they had to leave and it was all on them and not on LeBron James. And for Shannon Sharpe to say this, as like I said, as the number 1 LeBron James cheerleader, it's a pretty strong analogy and it's pretty fitting. Does it affect LeBron's GOAT debate? It really depends if you're a LeBron James fan or not. For me personally, it doesn't really matter. The talent's a talent. I look at the eye test. LeBron James is a Mount Rushmore player. How you rank him in terms of Jordan, and Jordan did this, and Jordan didn't have this many coaches, and Kobe didn't have this many coaches, or whatever. You can have that your own discussion, and that's totally fine if you view whoever as a GOAT and not LeBron, right? It's not a competition. At the end of the day, these guys are all Hall of Famers, Mount Rushmore players, but it is something to think about when dealing with LeBron James. I think that LeBron, he's not outspoken when it comes to coaches. I've never heard him go become, or at least be in defense of a head coach. And when he's not happy, just they exit, they get fired or whatever. So the Lakers mishaps. Does LeBron James deserve some fault for it? Yes. With some of these coaches, yes. And I think that's the point Shannon Sharpe is making. It's pretty obvious, but it is interesting coming from him as a big supporter to call this out. Let me know what you think about what Shannon Sharpe had to say and the overall discussion of, does LeBron James having multiple coaches affect his GOAT status? Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Leave me your thoughts. Please like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys a lot. I'm out.